Do you know why she chucked yesterday?
Yeah, she landed on the ball.
She landed on the ball.
Yeah. she dove for the ball.
Yeah, and hit her in the solar plexus.
Yeah.
It's a great start from Queensland. No screen.
Oh, it's a running bun. It's a
hell?
beauty too, but she's OUT.
That's a
out.
good play from Georgia King.
Yep. Excellent play.
Let's
just
call it a
but
sacrifice bunt.
despite that, it's got two players in position, in the run-scoring position there.
Oh, you're doing the play-by-play again.
Oh, I'm
eh?
sorry. Well,
He's just carrying on. He's very touchy.
Day 4 of the Under-23 Australian Women's National Championship, playing for the Joyce Leicester Shield. South Australia versus Queensland in the top of the table clash. We're joining you in the first inning. There's 2 runners on, there's 1 out. We'll talk you through it in a moment. It's James Harris here, coming to you from magnificent Ghanaland, West Beach in South Australia. Joining me, Anthony Weatherstone, Lee Hull. Guys, let's get straight into it.
Yeah, a bit of short ball from Queensland, and they've been able to advance some runners and put him in some scoring positions with Kurihara's early start. So, yeah, great positive signs for Queensland. They're aggressive. Like to see.
Look, warmer day today, boys, isn't it? Temperatures up.
Yeah, it's
Winds died a bit in previous days.
Yeah. So on the mound for South Australia today, it's Donny.
Or even in the circle.
In the circle.
McKeely Doney is originally from New South Wales. South Australia picked her up as a draft player just to help out with the pitching duties. Foul ball from Rhodey. And Lee, while the ball's in foul territory, take us around the diamond.
It's McKaylee Doney pitching to Georgia King. Hayley Benathans at first. Maddie Scott's at second. Neve Adams at third. In the hole at shortstop, Taylor Chillingworth. The outfield from left to right, Charlize Callahan, Abby Jorgensen and Becky Havis. And the DP is Georgia Hood.
Sounds like you were calling a horse race, Lee. Well done. Well done. Multi-talented sports commentator. Rhodey.
Same horse, different jockey.
Pulls one hard into foul territory.
So Doney's coming up to pitch. Wow.
High ball. Second base is under it. Maddie Scott. See the way she shielded her eyes with her glove then.
Smart
Takes
play.
a terrific catch.
You know, the most asked question I've had since I've been here for the last 3 or 4 days. Maddie Scott.
Brilliant.
Was she is she in the Australian team yet? Is people
She played at a Junior Women's Worlds, then went to Odessa Junior College in Texas, played a couple of years there, and was part of the COVID period, so she got a red shirt for one of those years as well. So did 3 years at junior college and now going to Kentucky, East Kentucky.
Yes, that's right, the transfer. Yeah, people are just saying what a great selection in the under-23s.
She wasn't originally available.
Yep, that's where I was going with that.
And as an international player, her eligibility is still able to be selected. And when there was an injury, she'd made herself available and was able to be a late replacement.
Yeah.
It didn't affect anyone who was previously selected or unsuccessful in the team. And that's shown by the requirement to get a draft player as well. But this talented group of young women are unreal, and they're just bolstered by the talented young lady at second base. Swing and a miss from Evans, up high, a strikeout, swinging to end the threat. Harari Kurihara led off with a single to right field. Hampson on a running bunt to shortstop. The running aggressive Taylor Chillingworth couldn't even stop that play. A single, infield single, then a sacrifice bunt to Brooke Stewart. You joined us at that point, Rhodey. Fly out to second base, and then Taylor Evans with the strikeout to complete the innings. McKeely Doney has started this game quite well. Recovered after 2 hits.
Yeah. And obviously, as you would be with the pickup players, it's so hard coming into another team, you know, especially the home state team in that regard. And she's got better with every day of the tournament, and she's better today.
Yep, Lee, take us around the Queensland defence, and then we'll get to the state of play. It's day 4.
He's been rehearsing
tomorrow.
this. He's ready to go. He's got it all in his hand.
Right, the battery for the Queensland girls. Azali Summers is pitching to Matisse Sorbello. Jessica Rhodes at first. Harari Kurahara is at second. Brodie Stewart third. And at shortstop, Soraya Hampson. In the outfield, Kiana Hanari, Nicole Conacher, and Siren Letitia. And their DP is Taylor Evans.
Thanks, Lee. Right. These two teams are top and second. South Australia, 14 points and 7 wins. Queensland, 12 points and 6 wins. They've both got 2 games to go today, including this one. You'd suggest that both teams might go on and win tonight's games, which means the winner of this game will go top because Queensland's runs against is superior to South Australia's. 32 for Queensland and 49 for South Australia. So that's too big a deficit, you'd think, to make up in 2 games.
So SA have got ACT tonight at 8 o'clock. Then they beat them yesterday. So, but that being said, ACT have picked up a couple of wins today, and all of a sudden there's some momentum there as they fight and battle for that 4th spot with Victoria.
Which means Queensland play WA?
I believe, no, Queensland have got
WA.
Is okay, sure, WA.
New South Wales are playing Victoria. That game's about to get underway. That's the last team to play another game.
Yeah, right.
There's been a change in the Queensland team due to injury. Number 76, Brooke Stewart at third base comes out, and in comes number 7, Ella Coville-Mater.
And the player we've just been talking
to third base.
To third base, I can't see. Let's have a look at the numbers.
It's
base on balls for Maddie Scott.
Road, isn't it?
Rhodey's gone to third base, so from first
that's
to
right.
third.
5 to 3, 3 to 5.
So the change in the SA lineup that they went with late yesterday, with Benithan and Scott swapping places, they've gone again today, and Scott's already picked herself up an early walk, bringing Benithan to the plate with none out.
We had Lang Harrow, head coach of the Aussie Spirit.
I heard
and
last
Aussie
night.
Steelers
What a legend.
last night. And,
That was a great call.
And I forgot my point now. You jumped in.
Oh.
Scott takes off. She's quick. Slides in safely. And a punch out from the third base umpire, Brett Tyler. I've got his number. I'll give him a call later. Let's have a look at the Eastern replay. Great throw over from Sorbello on the first out. Hayley Benithan with a 2-ball count. I don't remember what I was going to say. We were mentioning how versatile Maddie Scott is as a player. In the left-handed box, she can hit a long ball. She can play the short game. And as she just showed here to lead off, she's got a good eye as well. All for nothing. She's been thrown out by Sorbello. Good play by Hampson at shortstop as well, who good to see back on the diamond today after yesterday. She had a little bit of a mishap, but she's fine. She's back on the field.
I don't mind that from Coach Lucas, though, early in the game. Obviously, ACT came out of the blocks with a little bit of short game and trying to create some early chaos. And he's got his first opportunity to be aggressive, and he's done it. So it just shows you, as you were saying, James, the intent of both teams today. This is a game that matters.
Summers goes upstairs after a couple of successful rise balls, got Hayley Benithan swinging. But she arrives on a base on balls. So 2 walks to start things off in the bottom half of the first inning. And hasn't Zali Summers been unbelievable for Queensland?
Yeah, she's impressed me. As good a pitcher as I've seen this week.
It was a lift operator or something? You tried to
The elevator
lift,
rider.
elevator or something. Yeah.
No,
Sorry,
if you
Leo.
can't- it's all right, Anthony, or Bill, whichever your name is.
No, she was super impressive yesterday.
Georgia could,
But
for
what-
South Australia, that one coming quick from Summers.
Yeah, what we noticed yesterday was the ball just that was her weapon was that up pitch, and they just couldn't hang off of it. They just had to bite on it. But she also brought in a very effective change-up not long after that.
Could just jammed a little. Kurahara has to
Tricky.
go back with the flight
Not
of the
for
ball and
her.
takes a fantastic catch. An avid watcher of the Softball SA Premier League. She's going to hate me for saying it. I spoke to her just before the game. Shout out to you, Harari Kurahara, with a fantastic catch.
Yeah,
Tell everybody who's her favourite commentator. Come on, modesty.
no.
It can't be modesty stopping you.
No, I don't want to embarrass her. It's okay. I may have signed an autograph.
Oh, now I've heard it all.
Yeah,
Becky
Pretty
Harris
well.
is the DP.
the great man.
Look, I didn't sign an autograph, but it made my day. It made my day to say that she watches, and that's why we do it, right? We do it to bring the softball to the people.
Dude, I got a photo with East Texas Baptist in the front of the bar 66. Don't worry, my weekend's complete. Happy days.
Somebody said to me it was a wide-angle lens.
Oh.
That's what it is. Because there's a lot of girls. There's 30 in it. There's 30 in it. Just don't jump in too quick.
If you need to make a complaint,
Yeah,
I've got
no,
the HR
absolutely.
department number.
But more
Harris.
importantly, Havis, bang.
Straight up, Kurihara underneath and takes a
gonna
catch.
drop
So
that.
2 very good catches. The afternoon sun here at West Beach is notorious.
Interesting, isn't it? Good start. 4 batters, 2 base on balls. The first lead 2, and then the next 2 batters 3 and 4, fly 4.
And when we go back and have a look at the book from ACT yesterday, how many times did we say the same thing with the amount of balls that they flied up?
Yeah.
We called it the air attack because that's what it was. ACT, they held in the count as long as they could, but they just, ACT, I mean Victoria, my apologies. Victoria just couldn't hang, and they just sort of ended up chasing those balls on the up.
And if the pitch doesn't take off too much, like there's not too much, it doesn't rise too much, it's just enough to beat your batters.
Yeah,
isn't it?
that's right.
You know,
No,
and
she
then
was
you get,
super impressive.
You get an under edge on it.
All
Over
right.
edge.
If you two have finished talking nonsense, I'll take us over to the Diamond 2 game between Victoria and New South Wales. Now, it's an important game for both teams because if New South Wales win, they stay in the hunt for a top 2 place to go straight into the major semi-final.
Right.
But Victoria need to win to leapfrog ACT, who just beat WA to go to 3 wins and 6 points, tied with Victoria, 3 wins, 6 points.
Hey.
And it's just 5 runs against that separate them.
Gee.
Both teams with just the 1 more game to go.
Because ACT had that big win Thursday, that 25 over WA. That was huge. So that's going to actually maybe come back into play.
Just the runs against count, not the runs for.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're right.
Just
Spot
like our competition here, Premier League, which will be back on Wednesday, won't it?
Wednesday the 21st?
Yeah, that's Wednesday. This Wednesday.
Who's commentating that game? Are you both available?
Well,
yes.
why not? Why
yes.
not? We've had some practice.
Yes, let's do it. I need more practice apparently too. So not apparently, I do. So
I might be babysitting. Let's get back to the action here. It's Soren Letitia for Queensland. Stands very tall, doesn't she? She's taller than the plate umpire.
Yep.
So Sobello's batting down at 9 again. So that is definitely that's a dedicated spot with the top of the line coming back, and they've all got wheels. She's that power hitter one.
Oh,
yeah.
she
So
is a power hitter, all right, isn't she?
but that. Don't oversight the fact that Dhoni's just got back-to-back strikeouts. She cleaned up the last one in the previous innings, and she's just taken the lead off there.
That's a walk.
Was that a walk? Was it?
4 balls is a walk.
Sorry, I saw the hand come up. Sorry.
Ring, ring, hello.
Ooh.
Do I need some practice?
All right.
Have I had no sleep?
I think we all need to check it. Oh, great play, Neve Adams. Double play, but you can't run into that.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm Coach Lucas, I'm straight out asking the question there because Maddie Scott couldn't fire off a shot.
That's right.
Letitia just shouldered Maddie Scott. Let's have a look at this and replay. Hard slap hit from Conacher. Neve Adams fires it off, and Maddie Scott pulled back on the throw. No protest from the red team bench. 1 out.
Kiana Hanari.
Hanari shows, bunt, pulls back on the high pitch.
Just testing the people on the lines, I'd suggest. See what they do on that.
Would either of you called a interference on that?
Yeah,
No.
oh, absolutely would have been flying out there.
Or would Maddie have needed to throw off a shot? Adams, again, will change her mind and play to one.
What
Look
an
at that
arm.
arm.
You could see that she wanted the lead runner.
Yep.
Just a slight fumble, had time to recover. Fires it across to Benithan for the second out. Hot corner tonight.
Yeah. Golden rule of those sort of shots. You knock the ball to the ground, you can't get the lead runner. The ball comes slowly to you, you can't get the lead runner. You just got to be armed with that information before you field it.
She's nearly the exception to that rule. I mean, like, just she has the ability to knock it down. Her arm is that quick.
Yeah.
She, but you're 100% right, Lee.
And depends
100%.
on the pace of the runners as
Yeah,
well.
absolutely.
That's
And
relevant.
they're all
Athletic.
super fast in this
Yep.
team.
Down to the 9-hitter, Saul Bello. We spoke very highly of her in the East Texas game, didn't we? She looked very solid. And you know what? Sometimes a player feels more comfortable batting down the lineup a little bit. I like this. I like it's a terrific tactic that you don't normally see. A big hitter down at 9.
Oh,
Ground ball deflected
Still
off
out.
Donny, and Maddie Scott's on the spot.
Seen some line balls back at pitches this
yeah,
weekend.
oh yes.
Donny
it's,
seems okay, and she'll come in happy as she blanks Queensland for 2 consecutive innings.
A Victorian girl took one yesterday that was just got her glove up just in time, but aggressive start. Two teams sort of, you can just see at the moment, they're both sort of pushing each other at the moment to sort of find what's going to work. Queensland are showing short bats, but they're also happy to, if the right pitch is there, to clear their hands. SA, as you said, couple of walks, couple of flyouts. So early days, it's going to be interesting to see how this thing plays out. So with you would think some influence in the games that are going to happen tomorrow.
bottom 2, it's testing time, isn't it? Just testing each other out.
And as Jimmy was saying, like, obviously both have got games to play. And so, I think we touched on it yesterday. Day 4 of the Nationals it's the most crucial day because it's the day before finals. You've got to get there first,
Yep.
but then you want to make sure that when you do get there, you've actually got gas in the tank. And so managing your players, especially your pitchers and catchers, is super important.
Well, by the end of the 8 o'clock game tonight, we'll know exactly who the 4 teams are playing in the finals.
Correct.
And on that, I won't even bother telling you the rest of the games because it's a point well made, Lee. Here's Charlize Callahan. Now, I'll tell you, New South Wales are currently playing Victoria. It's 0-0 as we go into the second inning. The next time slot is Queensland versus WA, then the 8 o'clock time slot, so New South Wales, WA, ACT, SA. We'll touch on that when we get the moment. Meaning that Victoria's last chance to make an impact on the Final 4 is right now against New South Wales. ACT's last chance is at 8 o'clock against South Australia. We're going to bring you that thanks to Spacequake Sports. The 2 men to my left will be joining you. And joining them will be a legend of South Australian softball making her commentary debut. Didn't run it past me first, but I'm okay with it.
A lot of options
Do
on
you
a
want to announce it,
a lot of options on a Saturday night at 8 o'clock. I think you should. I think allow people to set up their VCRs and so on.
VCRs, living in the 90s
Yeah, still.
Another foul ball from Callahan. Cath Coral medalist, twice over.
Times 2.
Premiership player, times 4. State representative, times 9 years.
Wonderful wife, times 1.
Made her name as Holmes. Married into a Charlize Callahan, goes down swinging for the first out. Married into the Weatherstone family. Kylie Weatherstone will be joining the commentary for the first time.
Fantastic.
And she's very nervous about it, so...
She shouldn't be nervous. She knows us both well.
Yeah.
You more than me.
Well, she's not nervous in the fact that she said if you can do it, that obviously lowers the bar. That was me that she was talking to when she said it, so... No, but I think the good thing about tonight too is that with the ACT, with the amount of McCready's they've got in that, they got mum, dad, the 2 daughters. So we're going to have a mum-daughter coaching team out there. We're going to have another partner in here. So it's a family affair, softball.
And I'm thinking about ringing up my great uncle to see if his nephew's available for the next game.
Abby Jorgensen's the hitter for South Australia.
You know who Coley's first coach was? State coach?
State coach.
This one is hit towards the middle. Kurahara! Not in time as Jorgensen beats out an infield single.
She's quick, isn't she, Abby? That's the difference then.
Yeah, she's having a good tournament. You just saw Kurahara, just her right foot, I think you can just see, she just, as she grounds, she just lost it.
Yeah, so lost the
power
yep.
in the throw, but it's an important base runner for SA.
Taylor Chillingworth batting 7.
What are they going to play here, Anthony?
I mean, early on, a lot of it's obviously with your on-decks, person, etc. Yep. Who's the go. Early in a game, we've obviously already attempted a steal and that hasn't come out. So Georgia King's on deck, Neve Adams to follow. So Georgia King probably hasn't had a lot of game time. It'll be good exposure for her, but Chillingworth's such a hot bat, you'd sort of just, you'd be keen to sort of see how it plays out. And we've seen 2 big cuts there. And then, of course, as a coach, it's taken away from you now.
Jorgensen still on first. Chillingworth gets a little bit about on that rise. Well, you're not really going to change much, are you? If she's swung and missed it 2.
No need to change.
Change up. Rhodey fires it to the lead runner. It goes out to right field.
Back up. Good back up.
Jorgensen dove in head first and was a little curious on where the ball went. She looked to her left. She didn't look to her right to see the right fielder who was backing up. So not too much damage there, but the right play from Rhodey. Let's look at the Eastern replay.
Yeah, you see Rhodes, she throws an absolute missile and she doesn't even get her arm all the way back, and she does that because of the speed of Jorgensen. She's got to get the ball there real quick to make that out, and so that's brought the error.
Georgia King, the new batter to the plate in under 18. She has a tall frame. She catches for the Hills Heat in the
Catching
SA
in this
Premier
game,
League, and
yep.
a former junior athlete of the year, I think. For
I was just about to say, Lee, I'm sorry to say it, Queensland's first base just came down. She's just been communicating with just their bench there, and just the pitch prior to that, she'd come down at least 10 feet as they were going to do that, and I was thinking whether or not King's going to bunt to bring Neve up to advance. And then she stayed on her spot and they bunted. So Queensland definitely looking at what SA is doing over there, and they're trying to counteract it. So that's the beauty of national championships. It's that fine detail. They know the hitters, they know each other, and she's gone right back to her normal defensive spot now, obviously with the count.
It's cat and mouse.
Now tip keeps King alive in the count. 1-2. Summers just keeps going back to that trusty rise ball.
But it was just so funny because it was a late pickup. She was back, and then there was some audible, and then she came all the way forward prior to that pitch even being set up to throw.
And lucky for George,
in the foul territory.
she's put it in the air, but it's put it back foul. Yeah. So that was, it could have been. I didn't see the runners going, so they were waiting to see what happened with the ball on bat. Sometimes runners take off, as you know, Anthony, when they shouldn't.
Yeah, it's a good pitch. This is a bit of Saul Bellows' MO. Yesterday, though, she threw super hard early, and they introduced the change just here and there, and then it became more prominent the later the game went on. As obviously people, which is a bit, it's obviously normal, but she did a real masterful job of it yesterday. 2
strikeouts for Summers in this inning. Adams to the plate.
Trouble here now is you're 2 out. You're about to come back through the top of the line. Maddie Scott's a hot bat. So Adams here really want to try and see if you can just get at a base. Let Scott and Benithan try and do the damage in a 2-out situation and rally the team up.
Jorgensen on 2, Chillingworth on 1, a 1-1 count. Inside for a ball. There's 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Neither team able to get on the board just yet, but both have had their chances.
Yeah, both threatening. So that's the risk with Summers throwing the ball up as much as she does. If the SA batters can stay disciplined and stay off that pitch and wait for her to come back in, that's going to be, I think, the key for them sort of unlocking the ability to hit her today. And that's perfect example right there. It's that when she gets it in that right spot, just short of that length, that sounds cricket related, but I mean, when your rise kicks a little bit late, and the difference between that and just being a high pitch, Adams couldn't stop not swinging at that last one.
High for a ball, and bases will be loaded to go back to the top of the order. I don't mind a batter swinging at a rise ball if that's the pitch that they're hunting, but if they're not looking for the rise ball, they're just going to chase it up all day. Nick Shales did it in the Men's World Championship final. He got a rise ball, he was sitting on a rise ball, and it went out of the ballpark. So it's okay to swing at rise balls, as long as that's the pitch you're going for.
Yeah, spot on. Absolutely spot on. But that's exactly what SA wanted. They a disciplined bat by the number 9, Adams, and this is the situation that they want. They've brought Scott, the hot bat, to the plate.
He walked in the first. She swings at that one. 0-2.
Two out.
Summers getting ahead of the count.
I think she might be tempted to throw the change up here.
Started with it.
Good hands from Scott.
Only thing that worries me about a change up to a left-handed like pulling hitter like this is if they do pick that change up and she has got her hands back, she can actually pick where she's going to put the ball. Yeah, that's how good Scott is. So
yeah, that's fine, but anything with pace, she's going to hit hard. I can assure you of that.
Yeah. I think it'll be up again. But as usual, I'm wrong.
No, that's not correct.
It takes some time, Anthony, to get the feel for the game from sitting from this position.
So you let him in there?
I was surprised that she went away there, actually. I thought, if anything, he'd close her in. But no, she did go.
Again, and shortstop Hampson just backs back into the grass and
that's all right.
Takes a catch. Going back with the fly to the ball. South Australia leave the bases loaded, and well, Queensland and South Australia are both threatening. Here's a look at the Eastern replay, but both defenses holding up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where Summers falls in the Queensland depth chart, if she's number 1 or 2 or 3 in that regard. So, I mean, if I would imagine she's high because she's a great pitcher. So I'm surprised that we're seeing her today. And this is great intel that SA are getting in that regard, because it's likely that they're going to face each other tomorrow no matter what. So how refreshing is it though, Lee? We commentate week in, week out the C-Max Premier League here at West Beach, and we've been talking about intent all season. So many standing strikeouts, not just strikeouts, but so many looking strikeouts. At these Nationals, it is completely the opposite. Anything remotely close, they're after it. It is game on. And so many 5 innings games, because I heard James talking yesterday, about how softball's evolved. It used to be 1-0 and then, 2-1. And, now we're seeing all these massive sort of blowouts like 8-9, 9-8 or, 10-6. It's a lot more entertaining than it
Well, we're at the top of the lineup. It's Haria. Harari, yeah, Harari. I don't know why I got that I in there. Harari.
Had a game-leading single in the top of the first.
She's one of these natural left-hand hitters that pulls the ball, doesn't she? She likes doing that.
Bang!
Shot up the middle. That's 2 hits for the game for Kurihara.
No surprise, is it?
Be interesting to see what the SA defence does straight up here, because Hampson has got legitimate wheels and a legitimate short game. So,
well, in the top of the first, she laid down a running slap to shortstop, and both Kurihara and Hampson were safe. Shows bunt again. South Australian defence all break to their left.
interestingly, just noticing that Queensland bullpen's opened up. So whether or not because of the heat and because of the fact that maybe not wanting to show Summers too many times going forward, they might sort of have her on a fairly short leash today.
Well, if these two teams play tomorrow, I'm thinking Summers, but not sure. I'm not sure if Queensland have got any tricks up their sleeve.
Well, you don't know, do you?
Defending champs, you'd think they would. They've also got Solomon though, as well, from last year. She last championship. She's a gun.
Well, that's who's in the bullpen.
All out attack by Queensland. Like it.
Yeah, me too. Me too. No need to hide anything. Just going to bring you our best, and if you can beat us, go for it.
Yeah.
Foul ball from Hanson. She'll have to come back and reset. Counts full. Wonder if the SA defense will let up or if they'll stay in tight.
She looks super confident in her ability to do that, and she hasn't changed her feet stance at all. She's where she's been starting the whole time.
Even with the full count and strikeout swinging. So great pitch from Doney. South Australian defense didn't let up. Second strikeout.
Yeah, no. That's why I've quietened down and I've calmed down now. The coffee's gone. Brooke Stewart comes to the...
Now, Brooke Stewart got replaced, remember, after the first inning. And it was, in fact, Koval Maida that came in. She went to first and Rhodey went from first to third. So Brooke Stewart was listed as the third base starter. She put down a sacrifice bunt in her first plate appearance, and this is Koval Maida's first at-bat. Right fielder Becky Havas just lets it drop in front of her, and rather than risk a diving play, keeps Kurihara to a single base. Queensland. I've pulled an Anthony. Queensland has runners at 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's a good play by Becky Havas. I mean, you know, you would suggest maybe if it was the grand final that might be a full extension dive, but the smart play was knowing that Kurihara is on base, anything that spills behind her is probably going to score.
Yeah,
so
the wind's behind the pitcher at the moment on this diamond, and the balls seem to go up and just drop down.
Yeah.
So they're the ones to dive for, because it won't hurt you. If it goes behind, it's going behind by 2 metres maximum.
Jess Rhodey is the batter for Queensland. Crunches it to short. Chillingworth stays down but fumbles it in the glove. There she goes for the transfer.
Yeah, just a bit keen to get the ball out, wasn't she?
that's the speed that the Queensland runners put you under, and that's where that pressure comes from. So we saw it before, the innings before, with Rhodey herself at third trying to throw out Jorgensen. She had to make that throw quick. It went wild. Chillingworth, roles reversed, same thing. Had to get it out quick, creates pressure.
Now it's the DP. Taylor Evans.
Struck out swinging her first time. Gun shortstop.
Just noticing that the SA Stars MVP of the grand finals just wandered into the park.
Yeah, originally named in this team, Millie Fitch. Foul from Evans.
Good pitch though.
Yeah, she's been super impressive today. The mix is real good. I know Georgia King, I haven't seen her too many times behind the plate so far in the tournament, but she's doing some good work here.
You can't have too big a mix with the winds behind you.
Yeah.
You know, you just want to cross breeze, don't you, or into your face.
Evans fouls another. Well, it might get you to lean over to your left. Let me know, was that an error or a single?
I recorded as an error.
Speaking of legends, Geordie Harris in the ballpark. All the big names coming down to West Beach today. Must be a national championship on.
Well, it's open day as well today, isn't it? The Adelaide smashes it. Just off the glove of Chillingworth. Has time to recover.
Good work. That's really good work. That'll be great to see on the Eastern replay.
Well, the first run does score, so Kurihara crosses the plate. Rhodey is forced out at second. Eastern replay. Evans, hard hit up the middle. Chillingworth and Scott both scramble, and there's the run.
So the impressive thing you see there is that Chillingworth's knocked the ball down, but Scott's gone to the inside of the bag to basically reach out and take the ball from Chillingworth's where the ball spilled. And she's been able to make the out.
Yep.
So that's great heads-up fielding by Scott. And ironically, you just see them break there. She's the one in there that's doing the talking. She's leading that little infield at the moment. So great signs there for the SA defence.
Queensland have scored first, so Kurihara's single to lead the inning off, moved around by Koval Maida. And then again from Rhodey. And then scored on the Taylor Evans. Hit up the middle, it goes down as a fielder's choice, but she's credited with an RBI.
This is Siren Letitia.
Donny using both sides of the plate, asking the question of the hitter. Last couple of hits been up the middle, so Queensland starting to tune in on her pace.
Good discipline.
No activity in the SA bullpen, but earlier we saw Michaela Yankovic just going through her spins, and she threw 14 innings yesterday.
That's a big day at
I'd be
Nationals.
surprised if we see her.
Actually, Kylie's got some stories about some of the long games that she's taken too, Lee. I know she talks about one up in Northern Territory where it sounded like she was pitching all day long, so...
Now, she's not going to make it about herself, is she? We don't like commentators that do that.
No, you wouldn't have set that bar anywhere by any chance, James, have you?
High from Donny, and she's going to walk the bases loaded with 2 out to go to Nicole Conacher, who grounded out to Neve Adams, who, well, she played the lead runner.
Big strike zone, you'd hardly think you'd be walking, would you?
No.
You know.
But that's just the threat of power.
Yep.
You
just walked twice.
Yeah, you're just nervous about the fact that breeze like this, you can see that there's been a conscious effort by the Queensland hitters to not get underneath the ball, but to hit through the ball. Standing taller in their zone, most of them have moved up a little bit, just trying to line drive this ball and take the wind out of it. Where did the Steelers win the World Championship? Just the other week. New Zealand. What was the field though? What was it called? Do you remember that diamond where they won it?
I don't know. James would know it.
Do you know what it's called, James?
Yeah, I've been there a couple of times.
Oh, you have? Oh. And how have you gone when you've been there, James?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the action. here. South Australia take a timeout. Just have a little chat defensively. Queensland also take the opportunity to have a bit of a chat about what's happening. It's loaded bases, it's 2 outs, and Donny's got behind in the count, so Conacher is in a good hitting position. Watch this one go over the place. Took a bit off, didn't she?
Yeah.
But it was low. That was the important part there. It's trying to obviously engineer just a ground out here, which is what you want. Anything on the green's going to do damage.
Ground ball to Chillingworth, who will play.
Easy play.
Letizia at second base, so both teams load the bases, but it was Queensland that scored off the Taylor Evans fielder's choice.
I'm going to take you to
look at the Eastern replay.
I'm going to take you to task on that, Lee. That's not an easy play. You're in the 3rd innings of a national. You're up against the defending champions at home. It's the middle of the day. It's 30+ degrees. The sun's belting down, and the runner's gone in front of you, and you've had to stay low and pick up at the ball at speed. That's not easy, champ. She's done a great effort there.
She made it look easy.
She made it look easy. 100%.
And then she made a mature choice to play the runner at 2 rather than firing it across the diamond.
Well, that's right. You don't need to fire it across the diamond. How many years have coaches been teaching people at the 3rd out, fire it way across the diamond?
Yeah.
You don't need to.
Who are we going around the grounds thanks to? Doesn't matter, does it?
Red Star Cafe?
Red Star Cafe, right. Red Star Cafe, bar 66. We're going around the grounds of Diamond 2. Victoria, fighting to stay alive in this tournament, are leading New South Wales 4-0 in the top of the 3rd.
What is going on?
We've just broken our ACT viewers' hearts.
Yeah.
The game's not over yet, and ACT still have another game.
They've got a game tonight, big game on Spacequake at 8 p.m.
One of the big numbers in that scoreline is 0 for New South Wales, so the runs against are important as well.
They absolutely are, yeah. Yeah, ACT, stick around to 8 o'clock tonight and see your team maybe battling for a shot to go straight in. Because it'd be interesting to see how SA, if they split this game here, pick this game up here, there's an opportunity, you reckon, that they might rest some stars for tomorrow morning. Some sore bodies.
Yeah, if New South Wales go down, South Australia will pretty much guarantee them a top 2 spot. Well, doesn't that change?
That does change it.
The way that the game looks, and then the Victorians will be, no, South Australia, play your best team.
Yeah. Well, as much as we've made that for the cafe and the bar, more maybe we should put it out to the volunteers that have been helping us this weekend. All of them that have done an amazing job.
But Nathan fouls this one off. Summer's going to work. The volunteers that have been here this week have put in so many hours, and we're so grateful because you can't have a tournament without them. Probably a couple of staff short this week, the softball SA, so many thanks to our volunteers. Benithan, ground ball. Rhodey has a little bit of a hard time to get a handle on it. That's enough for the speedy Benithan to get the first safely. Gee, didn't get too far away from her, and she's got a great arm, but it just shows the asset that South Australia have on base right here on the Eastern replay. Have a look at this. Is in slow-mo, and Benithan's already there.
Yeah. Benithan's been so impressive this week. I mean, again, I think I said yesterday, I've only ever seen her on tape, never had an opportunity to see her live, but she is lights out.
Speaking of volunteers, she won our Rue Weaver Volunteer of the Year award a couple of years back. Lee, did you ever win that one?
Yes, I have, and you know that.
Only met her yesterday for the first time, and she is the nicest kid you'll ever meet.
Oh, yeah, she's...
That's not an understatement either. And you're a better person for meeting her as well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Georgia Hood in the box, and Benithan just takes off.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
She was
Just
well in
late
front of
steal.
that.
You blink, you miss it, and it was a slightly delayed steal as well. She didn't go on the pitch, did she?
No, she didn't. It was a delayed spill.
And that's what
Still.
I think that's what caught the Queenslanders out.
That's good.
Danger here with Hood. She's due for a big shot here.
None out. And she swung like it too.
She's not going to die wondering.
No. She was only hitting 200 on the third day of the tournament, so by Hood standards, those numbers are probably a little bit lower than she'd like, but I think she's come good since then.
You know what the scary part of that story is? That it means that she's probably got
Hits in her
a
coming.
strong finish to the tournament, and she goes up with this one, and Kurihara, she never looked in doubt, did she? As she took a catch out to the right side.
Never takes her eye on the ball, off the ball.
Well, Becky Havas, who's the DP, who's coming up to the plate now, right field, batting in the 4th spot now. In club ball, she's been pulling the ball like a monster. So, again, the question will be asked up in the zone. But she has the power to be able to turn the ball into that 7-8 hole.
Yep.
She can just line drive it. Benithan with her wheels will score anything on the green. So opportunity for SA here to square it up.
Gee, this girl's a good pitcher. You can quote me on that. A very good pitcher.
Sorbello's very good catcher. Like,
Yeah.
hardly anything in the dirt. Getting the best out of her.
And
Runners in check.
And don't you pitch better? Your wife, Kylie, would testify to that.
Oh,
don't you
yeah.
pitch better
Yep.
with an excellent catcher?
Yeah. Karen Dale behind the plate. Karen Dale had a book as thick as an encyclopedia on the hitters around South Australia, and it was, you know, when you're a pitcher and you're going to the plate and your only job is to worry about executing the pitch and not having to outthink the hitter because you're letting the catcher do that.
Yep.
That's what allows you to be a great pitcher, because you're focusing on that.
Havas chases an up ball. Hampson calls everyone out. She takes the catch comfortably, 2 out.
It's the Summers Air Attack Mark II. She's doing it again.
Benithan stranded on 2 here as Charlize Callahan comes up to bat.
Yeah, so Charlize likes to hit the ball up the middle as well, can pull the ball left a lot too, so still an opportunity here for SA. Jorgensen's in good form, she's to follow, so big at bat here for SA. If Callahan can get on, Jorgensen gives them a real chance. Great discipline batting.
Yeah, and that's what you need against a pitcher like this, as you've said many times, Anthony. She's going to throw them up the majority of the time. You've just got to
Keep asking that question. Yep.
Yeah.
If you're going to go after it.
Yep.
But like Jimmy said before, like hitting the ball on the up, that's okay, you know, on a windy day like this. But it's the intent about how you go about it. That's what he was talking about, and that's spot on, because if you're looking for it, you can actually make it work.
Tell you what, the right fielder's back a long way for my liking, especially with this wind like it is. I don't think it'll carry that far.
Yeah, she's just going to not fall.
Just jammed a little, and it's off the top of the handle. Hampson moves across to her right to take a reasonably comfortable catch, probably the easiest catch that we saw of the inning, because Kurihara back for one. Becky Havas skied one that looked tricky, but Hampson was all over it. So 3 pop-ups to the infield to retire the middle of the South Australian order.
Interesting, isn't it? 3 infield flyers.
Well,
not infield flyers, the rule says, but
it's a difficult part. And it's interesting here, Queensland, you can see at the moment, they're just having a bit of a chat about, and it's ironic, they're pointing at right field too, Lee, so I wonder or not whether there is a bit of a discussion about, you know, what we're doing next innings and stuff like that. But offensively, they've got the lead here. They're in the middle of the order, so got to keep that pressure on. Finally, we've got some activity in the SA ballpark, and it looks like it's Yankovic after a long day yesterday in the heat. Looks like she's going to be asked to have to come in and maybe close this game, which it's going to be a tough ask against the national defending champions.
Yeah, top of the fourth.
Yeah, we'll go to the top of the fourth. Queensland leading 1-0, and thanks to the Red Stars Cafe and Bar 66, you can't keep a good team down. New South Wales fired straight back in the bottom of the third with a run of their own. So Victoria still lead though, 4-1. We're on par, aren't we? It's the top of the fourth here now.
It's Super Saturday. It's the day before the finals. It's where everything matters. Everything's means more than it did the day before. So some quality softball being played all around West Beach.
Yeah, it's moving day, all right.
Ground ball, Adams takes it and throws out the runner by 4 metres. Hayley Benithan takes it and easily. There's Neve Adams on screen. What a terrific play from Adams.
She could quite easily just wander over to the Giants next door, I swear, and pick up a baseball and just start throwing rockets. Her arm is just amazing.
Yeah.
So Donny's got a real big job here. She's got him to the fourth. Coach Lucas would probably like her to get him to the fifth, and then that third time round, give him a chance, give him something fresh to look at. If she can get 18, that's the job for her.
Sorbello is the 18th batter that she'll face. Donny's numbers to this point: 4 hits, 1 unearned run, 2 base on balls, both to Letizia, 2 strikeouts. So she's done the job, hasn't she?
Yeah, but the problem is after this batter, Kurihari's gotten on past her both times. Hanson, depending on the situation. So, you know, coming back into the top of the lineup, it'll be batter by batter how far she'll get to go beyond that, I would think. But she's done an amazing job to get him to 18 so that, you know, Yankovic can get at least 1 look at the lineup.
Yep. And there's only 1 run in. Let's lose sight of the fact there's only 1 run in the game.
And SA have had base runners. They've had opportunities. They've had a couple of runners loaded. They've had a runner in scoring position. So, you know, other than a steal that was a bang play, I mean, they're asking the question against probably Queensland's number 1 or 2 pitcher. So.
Oh, great shot that just rides over the top of the base, and it goes into Dead Man Alley, down into the back corner. So Sorbello turns 2. She'll be able to, she's going to say stand up.
Swallow
she
dive.
Dives in head first into third.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Queensland now threaten again with 1 out. The 9-hitter with a triple. Her first plate appearance was a smashing shot up the middle that Donny did well to get a glove to, knocked it over to second base Scott for the out, but let's have a look at the instant replay.
Yeah, this is where you earn your money. So the ball, the bang, not much Adams could do about that. On the wrong side for her, Sorbello's done a great job of rounding. I can just see the Queensland coaches have called for their pinch runner, so she's just gone up into the pen to go. So now Coach Lucas is about to earn his money in a big way, because does he pull the trigger on the pitcher? Kurihara 2 for 2, a big go-ahead run at third, so danger.
Depends what this batter does, I think.
Yeah, but when the batter's already 2 for 2,
yeah, might be a batter too late.
That's the problem. You get her on, if Kurihara gets on first too, then you're in a 1-3 split. They bring the pinch runner on, and it's 1 out. You got trouble everywhere.
Well, I understand that, but I'm thinking that's what'll happen.
Pulls it, foul.
Oh, how good's Benithan?
Yeah.
Just keeps it in front of her. She may have got a... No, she's okay.
There was no hesitation there. She, like a catcher, she was like going to knock that ball down.
Catchers are a different breed,
Oh,
aren't they? There's one on your right.
Very
That's right.
intelligent creatures, catchers. They're
big hearts, super courageous.
Backbone of the team.
Yeah.
More like the backstop, I think, than the backbone sometimes. Depends who you are.
Spoken like a bench player.
3-1. This is a big pitch here. This is a green light opportunity for Kurihara here. This is the one she's going to get.
Base on balls.
Still no movement on there.
Well, this is where both teams may hesitate to show their 1-3 split offense and defense, because if these two teams come up against each other tomorrow, you know, both teams know what play they're going to make. But,
excellent point.
Just noticed that Coach Zapolski's gone from one end of the dugout to the other down to where Coach Lucas is. So I'm sure it's a conversation that's been had at the moment. It's right now it's the defining part of the game. What's about?
Yeah, the next two hitters have had a base hit already.
Yeah, Hampson running bunt in the first inning and strikeout in the third inning. And Koval Maida in her first plate appearance replacing Stewart, line one to right field for a single.
Yeah, she looked like she can hit it real hard. So just noticed that has Hampson switched sides? That's a switch hit.
Lays down the bunt. Doney throws it to the wrong side of second base player Maddie Scott as her momentum's taking it towards the base.
Gee, that was a very good shot.
Will score on the wild throw. Timeout called for Coach Ben Lucas. He's gone straight to the umpire as well, so not even out to...
Yeah. No, it was a good bunt, but unfortunately the throw is what's cost us the run there, so not much that Maddie Scott could do. I mean, she's come right off the bag to try and get it. Here comes Yankovic, as we sort of predicted there.
Well, Sorbello's triple has turned into a run-scoring triple because Kurihara put the pressure on with the walk. The 1-3 split put the doubt in the South Australian defensive mind, and a great pickup, Anthony, that Hampson swapped over to the right-handed batter's box to lay down a sacrifice bunt. I'm trying to work out where the advantage in that lies. Maybe she's more proficient with the running slap in the left-handed batter's box than she is at the sacrifice bunt on the right side.
I reckon they've done that with the runner at 3 is purely to pick up the fact that, hey, listen, we're going to hit. We're not doing any of the short stuff. Keep everybody back. You've seen me hit on the left side as a slap hitter. So everybody go back. I'll just try and bat Sorbello in here, and so the defense doesn't move.
Excellent replay of Hampson's punt, and
classic.
There's that throw from Doney. It's a shame she comes out after that play because she'd pitched a beauty up to this point.
She'd done great, yeah.
Keeping last year's champions to 2 runs, both unearned. And here's Michaela Yankovic. Well, if you ever wanted to know something about a player, you just have a look at the guts and the courage that it takes to come back after pitching 14 innings and 2 wins yesterday to come up and face the defending champs down 2-0 in the middle of the game.
Kept New South Wales it yesterday, from what I heard. Is that right? Ooh.
Yeah. It was,
earn runs, maybe I might have been heard. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, here she is, Yankovic, with a 1-3 split still. So expect Hampson to take off. Short ball shown, fake throw from King, and she's
another swallow dive at second.
She's so quick though.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't matter who's throwing that ball. I mean, you're throwing that ball into the wind. That's Belle White's making that play, but I don't know many others that would.
Koval Maida is the hitter. And Yankovic just missing the outside edge.
You know what I'd play now? Squeeze.
You love to squeeze.
Well, I'll get the right pitch, because that's one thing they won't be expecting.
Oh.
From Yankovic.
That would have done it too, I think, wouldn't it? Just sit there and wait and just, at the last minute, one-handed.
One thing I've got to praise you for, Anthony, is that you've brought up an upstanding young gentleman as a son.
2 out of 3 doesn't count, I don't think. I didn't get one.
That's a great shot.
Good catch from Havis, who has to throw it into home. Just offline as King makes the tag. Kurihara is safe at the plate. 2 out in the inning. Second run scores. Great play. Let's have a look at the Eastern replay. Here's Kurihara.
Love to see this.
The throw was just to the opposite side of the base. So Queensland just edge ahead. It's 3-0 now. Another shot of the Eastern replay.
I tell you what, Harari, complete player, isn't she? Can do everything. Leg speeds, unquestionable.
I thought Havis did everything really well then.
She did.
I mean, granted, the ball's gone the other side of the plate, as James pointed out. Perfect world, it's the other side, but...
See the wind holding things up out there.
Brody fouls this one.
This is quality game, though. There's been some real good intel gathered for both teams out of this. I mean, SA gets has had a decent look at Summers. You know, SA have been able to keep Hood away from Queensland, so there's a bonus. Solomon still to probably come for Queensland.
Change up gets Brody swinging, and just off the end of the pool cue, it screws off into the corner pocket for a foul.
The amount of change-ups that beat the really strong hitters, there's a lot, isn't there?
Well, it'd be interesting to see how Summers plays the rest of this game. If she keeps on pitching through that lineup, she's already into the third time of it. Her change-up became more prominent later in that game against Victoria. So it'd be interesting to see if they...
No, she didn't.
Good hands.
No, she didn't.
Oh,
yes, she did.
there she did. There on 2 strikes, no less.
I'm just putting that down as a cross against me.
So it goes down as a strikeout. So Yankovic comes in, a sacrifice fly, and then a strikeout to end the Queensland inning, but not before the run scores. Kurihara on the sacrifice fly to right field, and they score 2 runs to go ahead 3-0 in the middle of the 4th. I might need you to double check for me. I've got 3 unearned runs here, Lee. As we go over to Diamond 2, thanks to the Red Stars Cafe and Bar 66, New South Wales. Get another one back. And there's 2 runners on with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. So New South Wales threat continues. It's now loaded bases with 1 out. So Victoria need to hold their medal.
Who's thrown for ACT, Lamb?
ACT's not playing in the Vic New South Wales game.
Official scorer.
Sorry, I was looking at
All
something else.
unearned runs from the official. Thanks,
yeah,
Lee.
Right. Sorry, I apologise.
Chelsea Bennett is pitching for New South Wales, also in the hitting lineup, and Caitlin Laird is pitching for Victoria.
Really?
So
yeah, right.
We've waited till this long to see Laird come and pitch for Victoria.
Yeah.
It was Alana Panza who has 3 RBIs.
Good player. Good shortstop.
Yeah, we saw it second last year, didn't we?
Yeah, and a little bit of outfield too. Played a bit of right. Wasn't she injured? I remember at one stage. Was it her on the right side?
Sabby Jorgensen.
Impressive Summers continuing into late in the 4th.
I said it yesterday that summer's my favourite season, and here's Abby Jorgensen high for a ball. The Festival of Diamond Sports is on today, Adelaide Club competition. Giants have got a double-header in the field next to us in the Under-23 Women's National Championship as Jorgensen pops this one up into foul territory, and Rhodey takes a good catch because the sun is right in your eyes there. She still looks like she's upset from that strikeout from
Yeah, she does. Yeah. Well, that's it. That's it. Break the plane. So.
Everyone looking for some shade today. The sun's out. It's a beautiful day, and absolutely completely different from 2 days ago where everyone was looking for some sun.
Last night it was she was pretty cold.
-11 it got down to.
Is that right?
I made that up.
Sure.
Here's Taylor Chillingworth.
Well, there were Giants fans that had come to the game to watch the baseball, and they were inside watching the softball on the telly. That's how cold it was at West Beach.
find that hard to believe.
No,
It's cold at West Beach.
I can assure you that was not. They were inside. They were asking about the games on the tellies they were watching.
You come back for the 9 o'clock game next Wednesday on Diamond 2. Good luck.
Only West Torrens and Sturt too, that game.
Base on balls for Chillingworth. So a runner on base for South Australia here in the bottom of the 4th. How long do you keep Summers in here, guys?
Well, the funny thing about that at-bat just there, they gave Chillingworth nothing to look at. That was 4 quick pitches, and they did not give her an opportunity to swing the bat once. Yeah. That's one of Lee's intentional walks when it's a walk, but it's not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. And she comes straight back in with a called strike. Yeah. This is Georgia King.
Yeah. So you've got Ballard, you've got Roberts, you've got Thompson, you've got Fidge on the bench for SA to come in pitching
weapons there.
Situations.
Bunt put down from King. Rhodey has to come in and field it. Kurihara checks Chillingworth at 2. There's 2 out and a runner on 2 for the 9-hitter Neve Adams.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I mean, halfway through the game, I mean, it's a really well-executed bunch, and you can see how the experience of Rhodey, she was down on that ball super fast, so she took away any chance of there being 2, and Kurihara was already over, of course, but I didn't mind the sacrifice. SA have got to get something on the board just to start something up. You don't have to get everything back in the first, this innings. It'd be nice to, but the reality is just let's get 1 on the board this innings. Let's engineer another one next innings. Let's just put ourselves in a position to win this game.
New South Wales pulling that lead back 1 run at a time. It's 4-3. We'll keep bringing you the scores just because of the impact that it has for the top 4, Lee.
Yeah, hard shot from Neve coming up here.
Which is more than capable.
But, yeah, I saw her do one yesterday, and she hit one. The left field was going like a tracer bullet.
Yeah, she a couple of times in the Gillies, she got pinched hit into games, and had a big impact.
Yep. Can't afford to go down looking here. 2 down. Batting
another
race away. Yep.
Hear the wind in the FX mic. It's really picked up here at West Beach.
Good batting. Good batting, Neve.
That is as close as you will get. That was about just above belt high.
On the letters, the dangerous Maddie Scott. 2-out situation for SA again. She's on deck.
Fouls that off. It wasn't one of her hard swings, so she killed one off. Didn't get her pitch, but good enough to fend one away.
Same situation last time that they batted. Adams was able to engineer a really smart walk and bring Scott to the plate. That's
not feeling well, Lee.
Lucky guess again. Let's just ignore that attempt at a joke.
Well, she did go with the rise ball there.
Only Mr. Terrific does the jokes around here.
Gets bat on ball. A few players go after it, but Hampson at shortstop has had a firm control over that infield all game, hasn't she? She looks very comfortable at short. We saw her make a gutsy play yesterday at second base. They've got a great pair, well, a trio of infielders, middle infielders, don't they? Yep. Kurihara, Evans and Hampson. So you pick your poison, don't you? They're all fantastic.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at both defences, they're both amazing, and they've done, a huge job in backing up their pitches and stuff like that. We've had 2 sort of not great throws for the day, and both of those throws were brought on by being at a national championships. The runners that are all super fast. Chillingworth gets rushed on a double where she's throwing to a lead. Rhodey gets rushed on a ball hit to third, and she throws to a lead run. That's just a national championship. That's just the best on best. So that's the advantage of it. The rest of it, as you say, I mean, the ball that got hit to the Queensland shortstop before, Chillingworth before, she said it was easy. Nothing's easy out there.
All right, here's a new lay of the land for the way that the finals are shaping up. Let's say live ladder. All right, live ladder. So let's just go with a 3-0 result here. South Australia dropped this one. Let's say New South Wales beat Victoria. South Australia and New South Wales will be tied on points with both with 1 game to go. Let's say they finish. They both finish tied on points. Runs against, there's only 4 in it at the moment. So any result of this game, you know, the 8 p.m. games tonight, it's going to go down to the wire. It's going to decide, isn't it? Who plays where? This is Evans. First pitch swinging. High for the left fielder.
Oh, she's lost it.
Who did lose it. And Chillingworth was right there with her. Did she take her eye off, sensing that the shortstop was backing back? You guys tell me.
Well, we didn't hear any voices, did we? Let's face it, the wind probably took them away.
Port Adelaide teammates.
Yep, they are. Play alongside of each other.
That's the thing, yeah. They're a short third combination at club, so.
And she takes off on the pitch as well, so Evans, just such a threat in the field and now on base as well. She pushed that out. What should have been a catch, turned it into a double, and now she's got a stolen base and a runner in scoring position with none out. Here's
so this is
hitter Letizia.
Yeah, this is danger signs here. Just a couple of things not going their way. Just need to regroup real quick, reset yourself. Just treat the next pitch on its merit.
Sirens batted twice for 2 base on balls, so they're pitching very
Around
carefully to her.
Yeah. With good reason too.
Yeah, of course.
Don't worry about hitting that ball over the fence. I reckon this player could pick you up and throw you over that fence, Lee. She looks super strong.
Ruby Fitch warming up in the bullpen for South Australia. No movement for Queensland. Looks like they're staying with Summers.
Which you would think then means that Solomon gets the start. So that it would be Solomon v Hood, which is probably what you'd expect.
Well, Queensland still have a game today. It's WA. 3 base on balls.
She's frustrated about it.
Tells you something, doesn't it, about this batter?
Yeah, she's not happy about it either. Just let me bat, please.
Pinch runner, maybe.
Well, she's been put out on the fielder's choice after being walked both times, so she's been replaced here. Looks like Leggett.
Yeah, Hannah's trying to leg it up the second, I think.
Conacher will be the batter. Looks like she'll be in the left-handed box. Change is being made. This is a pinch runner. It's not a courtesy runner or a speed-up runner. So Queensland not afraid to make a change, not afraid to show South Australia their hand. Potential opponent tomorrow morning.
This will be interesting. None out, so bunt could be on the cards right up. No,
or not.
Run scores, and the runner is trying to take 2 bases.
Another swallow ride.
Slides
they
in
like doing
head
it,
first. And what was a 1-3 split turns out to be a run scored. Leggett a little sore. It was a half scorpion on the dive into third. Here's the replay. I reckon King may have been crossed up there because she didn't have her glove up for a rise ball. Watch Leggett. Yeah, half scorpion.
Yeah. Sometimes 1-3, none out. You're expecting the steal, but sometimes the batter bunts. You can sometimes catch the defense cheating to sort of pick up on the 1-3, but in that particular case, you just did enough to get in the way of the catcher King. And unfortunately, just a couple of simple things, a miscommunication at left field, as James said, and then all of a sudden, picks up an extra base, and they've scored a run just like that, where SA seem to be working awfully hard to get an opportunity to score. Queensland's starting to score as they like a little. Danger signs.
Great pick out from Neve Adams and a slight fumble at first, so it's starting to fall apart at the seams here for South Australia. The runner doesn't go. Conacher will arrive safely at first. Runners in the corners yet again for Hinari. Let's have a look at the replay. It was a great pick-up from Adams. She didn't check the runner.
Yeah, so Benithan just got caught, unfortunately, with just the ball going down, that just to get her leg extended out to get the ball, and it's fallen short. Yeah, Queensland are all go now.
No outs.
Well, this becomes super interesting now. You're going to really find out a little bit of the intent of SA. Like, if Yankovic has got a role to play after such a big day yesterday, how long do they keep her in if this game continues to unravel at this speed?
Not long, I'd suggest.
We've just seen Fidge. You'd imagine a 4-0 lead. Queensland aren't going to change from here to out. Queensland coach now would be starting to think 2 innings to go. I need 3. I can get out early and get ready for WA.
Change up from Yankovic. It floats in, and I don't know if that missed, but maybe the height that it come in on.
Yeah. Player management now becoming the key here. Wins and losses, obviously the driver, but
it's her hands on an
With
outside pitch, goes straight up for Maddie Scott, who again does so well. That's a great style if you want to learn how to catch a ball in the sun. Have your glove up, shielding your eyes, and that's where she takes the ball, right in front of the eyes.
A couple of excellent second base players in this game, isn't there?
I mean, Maddie Scott was a talent when she went overseas, but she has come back an absolute superstar. She, right now,
so impressed.
She is so impressed. Like I said, Benithan, I only got to see her on tape before she left, and she's come back, and she is amazing as well. So you can only imagine what Chillingworth's going to be like in a couple of years, or Yankovic in a couple of years. SA softball in a good space.
1 out for the 9-hitter, Sorbello. She's done some damage. She hit a triple. She scored a run, and she's called a good game.
It's what you'd expect of a 1v2. You got New South Wales waiting in the wings.
Good pitch.
Unusual territory for them. They're normally the front runner, the dominant. Now they're sort of coming from that elimination spot by the look of it at the moment. So
handing around notes like schoolgirls.
Pardon?
As Sorbello watches another one, she'll go to a full count.
all right, Mr. Maturity.
We're waiting in anticipation, aren't we, here for this play, because it could break South Australia if Sorbello gets onto it, but she gets a walk, loads the bases, and we go to the top of the order for Kurihara. Well, this is...
so, yeah.
A little bit of trouble for South Australia.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go through the inning. A single from Evans that should have been caught. A base on balls for Leticia. Conacher hit a hard one that was fielded well by Adams. And just fumbled by the first base player, Benithan. Fly to 4, a base on balls. South Australia haven't helped themselves out in this inning at all.
No, they haven't.
Loaded bases for Kurihara. 2 hits and a walk in this game. Change up.
So I've just been trying to think, in all my years of coaching, never had a power hitter at 9. My number 9 always was somebody that had a good eye for his own, could get themselves on.
Good bat too.
So that the lead-off could be the person that was going to... They would be a run scorer.
Yep.
But Sorbello's a power hitter. And I reckon we just saw evidence of one of the bonuses of having a power hitter at 9. So you pitch around the 9, you pitch around the power hitter, because you don't want to throw
later.
because she's got base runners on.
Yep.
But then you bring the top of the lineup back. It's genius. It's taken me 4 innings to work it out, 5 innings to work it out, but
Kurihara is patiently waiting for her pitch.
She's a creature of habit, isn't she, this girl? She makes a habit of getting on base and scoring a lot of times.
well, Yankovic's ball strike count since, as James just pointed out, the innings unravelling for SA a little bit. Her ball strike round, it's gone right out the window. She's
A little undisciplined from the Queensland.
Yes.
You know,
Unusual.
They're up 4-0 with loaded bases and 1 out. You know, maybe you have a swing for yourself.
especially when you're 2 for the day already.
2 for 2 with a walk.
Whoa.
Pop up. Infield fly.
That's going to be hard.
Not called.
Oh.
Infield fly not called, so the force to home is made. All other runners are safe. Isn't that interesting?
What?
Even the Queensland coach pointed to the sky for that one.
Yeah. And why didn't the runner slide at home?
Well, because it was an infield fly.
Oh, so the runners obviously heard that call.
No, it wasn't called. Well, a weird one. Let's call it a fielder's choice 6.
So hang on, who's...
And Leticia was forced out 6-2 for the second out.
Yeah.
Conacre to third. Sorbello has been replaced by the courtesy runner, and Kurihara's on first base. This is Hampson for her second plate appearance in the right-handed batter's box. She's had 2 in the left-handed batter's box.
Yep.
Wouldn't that be a talent? You'd love to show off switch hitting.
Don't see a lot of it these days, do you?
I always remembered Maddie Scott as a right-hander.
Yep.
Swing was all right as a right-hander too, I might add.
Yeah,
I didn't
but
think there was much...
her last
It was
couple
aggressive, but I didn't think there was much wrong with it.
Her last couple of seasons, she went to the left hand, but she didn't have the power she has now. She would do the little slaps, but now she can belt the ball.
Yankovic will look to pressure the hitter, Hampson.
Gee, she's a good player, and she defensively, she's a terrific player.
Yeah, she's played very well at shortstop. She's had a hit in the game. Yeah, it's a 2-2 count. Gents, you'll be choosing the player of the game as we go on. One of the contenders in the box right here. Change up. Just missing the outside edge. Yankovic has disguised that one really well. I'm not sure if any of the Queensland hitters have touched it yet. Got a strikeout on Rhodey on the check swing on that one there, and has frozen Kurihara on 2 in a row. Ball that scores a run. This has not been a great inning for South Australia.
No, they held on.
Conacre scores. Lele.
Oh, I've got a note passed to me from the South Australian bench. They tell me the batting girl for this game is Alice Morrison. She plays for under-14s for Port Adelaide, and coached by Charlize Callahan and Ben Lucas, who are both involved in this game. And Port Adelaide, I believe, are using under-14 players from each club in the local competition as their bat girl.
Awesome.
Saw someone you might know yesterday, bat girlie. Lucy.
She had a great time. I don't think she expected the game that she got, as far as...
Did she expect to be taller than half the team?
She said they were all heaps nice and awesome. So got a bit tense late.
Koval Mater is the hitter for Queensland. Fouls that one off. There's 2 out. There's loaded bases, and she's behind 0-2. So will we see the change-up lead, Mr. Prediction?
Possibly. As long as she tempts her to have a go at it.
Goes
Didn't need it. Didn't need
at
it.
the top of the zone, a strikeout to end the inning. And although you'd probably consider a disappointing inning in defence for South Australia, they only gave up 2. But that lead is 5-0, and it looks a long way back, doesn't it? Because Queensland have been very strong in the defence.
Yeah, every opportunity that SA have had, Queensland have had the answer for, and so we've been able to get people on through a walk. But there's been a change, and it does look like it's Solomon too.
It is. Yeah.
Wow,
Maybe they were warming up off diamond.
Yeah, right.
Because the bullpen is down the right field line, so they may have been warming up off diamond. And 8 batters to the plate that last inning. Solomon comes in.
So,
and she'll face the leadoff for South Australia, Maddie Scott. So while she goes through her 5 warm-up pitches, I'll check the score on the back diamond. Victoria have come back and scored 2, so their lead is back out to 3. It's top 6. Victoria 6. New South Wales 3.
That is massive.
Gee.
That is massive.
So the 5th inning just finished, so we haven't had any batters in the top of the 6th inning just yet, and it is Victoria with a 3-run lead.
I like the change here by Queensland. I mean, your 5 obviously is not an easy an amount of runs to get back in any game, let alone a national championship game v1, v2. But as much as SA do get to have a look at one of Queensland's number 1 or 2, they also get a little bit of intel on how SA are going to approach what they're doing versus there, because Solomon will be a yard quicker than Summers was. You can just, she's very front on, Solomon, but she's definitely quick. And obviously, you know, the old baseball motive of your closer comes on at the end throwing rockets. So Summers has done a great job setting this game up, throwing the ball high, challenging the top of the zone. Solomon's going to come in and throw rockets low. So good change.
Yeah.
SA have got to adapt, but they're at the top of their lineup, so they've got every opportunity to do so.
I believe the left fielder for Queensland should be nearer the line here for this batter, because if she throws the ball away from her, Maddie gets hold of it, it's going to go close to the line. Oh, she's moved over. That's good.
You can see the Queensland outfielders just before, they were just communicating before about the sun too.
Well, it's about communication, isn't it, with the outfield? They're no longer, they're considered to be backstops for balls that get through the infield. You want your outfielders to be aggressive players, charge everything down.
It's interesting watching Hampson too. Like Hampson at shortstop, she was basically in front of the light tower before when she was setting up. But for Scott, you can now see she's moving across to it, but she stands up the middle, trying to get the signals.
Solomon goes up and goes hard. Maddie Scott goes down swinging.
So Scott only got 1 pitch above her hips then, and that was the last one. Everything else was down, low and away. And she got 1 change, and then the only time, unlike Summers in reverse, where Summers was throwing 80% of her pitches up. So,
but she left the game with a 5-run to nil scoreline.
I think Solomon will suit Benithan.
Goes after the first pitch, and Conacher at centre field gets her first play of the game and takes a good catch. It's a nice piece from Benithan.
Yeah, compact hitter. You can just see the way she sets her hands. Benithan's just had a word to Hood there as she's come off. So passing a little bit of intel of what she's just seen.
Well, it won't make any difference to George because she'll be going for it. That's the type of batter she is, George.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see right away there,
Yeah.
but that's the intent too. At 5-0 down, fresh pitcher on, you can't give her time to settle into her
No,
work.
no.
You've got to get
Especially
straight after her.
quality pitches.
Yeah.
Yep.
Top of your line too. You've got to attack them.
2 big swings from Hood, 2 foul balls. So Solomon's ahead of the count here, which means that she can do similarly to what she did with Maddie Scott. She can go up now because Hood hasn't seen any rise.
I'd throw
Maybe a
change up to her.
yeah.
Well, see, I think this type of pitching is going to suit Havis as well. Havis likes the ball low, so
And
she can.
coming in hard.
Yeah, the speed's not going to worry Havis at all. She's going to like that.
Yeah.
That's a center right opportunity for her every day of the week.
There's that rise.
Again, ahead in the count. That's her. Both times she's had 2 strikes on the batter. That's been her 3rd strike go-to. So.
Well, they always have quality pitchers have a go-to pitch.
Yeah.
We've talked about it many times, Anthony.
Ground ball
Good
to
pitch.
short. Here's handsome.
Oh, she's beat it out. Yeah,
Running,
great working,
good
George.
running, Yep.
Well, she didn't wait back. She came in to get it. She
Yeah.
didn't charge it, so she had a little bit of control.
Yeah.
Georgia Hood just put her head down and sprinted up the line. And I don't know if you were watching the runner or not, but that was a rocket
Yeah.
from Hampson. Let's have a look at the Eastern replay. Here she comes. She comes in to get it inside the line, and she just throws a seed.
Yeah.
But Hood was quick enough to beat it out, an infield single.
All right, Coach Lucas, if I'm you right now, you've got Zoe Thomas, who's got afterburners sitting on your bench. Get your #1 pitcher off the diamond ASAP. Get Thompson out there and let Havis batter in and fight this game back. No point risking the pitcher standing at first, especially when you've got a bench to burn and Thompson's got the wheels. Thompson has the capability to turn a single into a double here, or a pass ball.
Just up the pads of Sorbello, the catcher, and goes up the 3rd base line, which gives Hood enough time to cruise over to 2, runner in score position for Havis. This is where she's dangerous. A noted RBI hitter for her club team, the Tigers. Ground ball to 3rd. She waits back for it, fires it across, and on a bounce,
take,
Lodi
wasn't it?
picks it up.
Yeah,
well,
it was a good take.
in the big mitt. Is there a change at 3rd, guys? I think Letizia's come into 3rd base.
Roger.
Apologies too, I thought we were at 1 out, but we were 2.
But we will we'll worry about the defensive changes for Queensland as they come out for the next inning. But they deny South Australia in the bottom of the 6th, and they hold on to their 5-run lead. Quick score check, top of the 6th. It's still 6-3 for Victoria, New South Wales, but there is a runner on 3 with 2 out. Gemma Cornell's up to bat for the Vics.
So that's been the case for SA all day. They've been able to get people on. They just haven't been able to string that together. They haven't been able to get somebody on and then execute something there behind it. Be that, I mean, obviously a short game sort of becomes a little bit wildly ineffective at 5-0 when you sort of can't afford to sacrifice outs. But, you know, SA are going to come away from this game not terribly upset about the fact that they can get people on. It's just tonight, have a look at the tape, get some fresh bodies, have some strength for tomorrow.
Taylor Chillingworth has come out for South Australia. Maddie Scott goes to shortstop. Georgia Burr is the new player. Georgia Ballard.
Georgia Ballard at 2nd.
Plays a bit there for her club team in the Premier League, the Hills. She's also a great catcher and also a good outfielder, as well as being a tough stick. So good addition for SA.
It's a busy looking scorecard. The 9th and has to run into foul territory to take a catch.
See what the wind
I was
did
about to
there,
say, you've been saying it all day, Lee. Just
like
as
Ballard was getting under it originally. This is the 4th time through the lineup for Queensland as well. Foul fly 3 for those scoring at home. Yeah, 4th time through the lineup. It's a busy scorecard because there's runs scattered through the scorecard. There's hits scattered through the scorecard. There's contributions 1 through 9, and that's what makes a champion team.
Yeah, spot on. Absolutely. It's one of those games too where, I mean, you know, at this stage now, ends in sight, so.
Smashes it.
That's going to get past it.
Over the head of Callahan at left field. She has to run it down. The hitter, Evans, the DP, turns 2, slides in head first safely, and a triple for the DP. Wow,
3 hits out of 4 turns at bat for her.
Not letting up. We got a fielder's choice for her 2nd one lead.
Oh, okay.
But an RBI on that play.
Yeah, yeah.
Triple to left field, and Letizier's the player in the box. 3 walks.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what Yankovic does with it. I mean, that was inside and sort of knee height, so. And it's probably why they haven't thrown at her all day. She singles up the middle.
Did that come off Yankovic? She smoked it. RBI single for Letizier. 3 walks and an RBI single. Lead now 6.
Yeah, it's
maybe it could be glove, but RBI.
Danger, real big trouble here. This could unravel even quicker now.
Conacher in the left-handed batter's box. Did she play for New South Wales, Conacher? Maybe last year or in previous years?
Name rings a bell, but I'm not sure.
Swing and a miss from the left-handed batter's box, and Letizia hustles back to 1. Just swirling and howling, change up, and Yankovic waits, pumps, and what happened then?
That's the second time. That's the second time a Queensland runner hasn't. Oh, the other one was infield fly, wasn't it?
That is the 3rd time, the 4th time of the game that Letizia's got on and then thrown out in play. Fielder's choice here from the pitcher. She delayed. It was like she was in 2 minds whether or not to steal or to just put her hands up and get in the way of the fielder again.
What's funny, I would have thought the Queensland coach right now would be just trying to engineer 1 run, because if he basically engineers that 1 run and gets to 7, he basically is 3 outs away. So I'm surprised that he didn't maybe pinch run and try and do something, but.
Hanari is the hitter.
SA a bit quiet in the field here at the moment. It's obviously
a bit flat. Like the game started at a tremendous pace. It was an arm wrestle, and then the ascendancy went to Queensland, and they've just chipped away. 5-10
minutes of softball, and it sort of got away from him, and that was all it took. But I think, you know,
here they are trying to manufacture with a bunt attempt with 2 out.
But I think that's evidence what people at home would be watching. Hopefully they'd understand that it's 4 days, it's 2-3 games a day. It's a brutal schedule. You've got warm up, warm down. You've got to eat. You've got to rest, strategize. I mean, these women are doing an awful lot.
Nearly robs a hit.
Gee, that'd have been an outstanding out, wouldn't it?
Hanari, Neve Adams in the hot corner today's been fantastic, and I don't think you can penalise the fielder for that. I'm giving that as infield single.
I was about to say, are we giving a attempted player of the day? Because that's what that was. That was outstanding. Reflex in the hot corner.
2 runners aboard for Queensland. This is the 9-hitter, Sorbello. We've spoken a lot about her today.
Can't pitch her around her now. You've got to go at her.
Shows bunt, which to me means that perhaps there was a double steal on.
Or more just looking to see if we were going to do anything.
That's right, they're just...
Adams didn't move, Benithan did.
They've done it a few times in this particular game.
Swing and a miss for strike 2. We see the US college tactics is to put your number 1, your biggest hitter at 2, playing the numbers game, like more chance of more at-bats during the game, and Queensland have a different approach. Power hitter at 9.
Well, when you're
successful,
I was about to say, when you're the defending national champion and you're sitting 1 and 2 in the current format, and you've got every chance to defend tomorrow, whatever they're doing is working, because they're a good-looking side. I mean, obviously some of the players, was it Rhiannon Kemp that went out of the side? She was a superstar.
Zunka.
Yeah, Zunka was a lights out. Oh wow, that's it.
Ground ball. Jorgensen can't get to it in time to stop that 7th run from scoring. So Queensland now put themselves in run rule position.
Look at Sorbello, she can't get off the field quick enough. I've done my job, get me out of here.
Her second hit of the game, she's smashed it as well. She was unlucky to have a deflection off the pitcher's glove to second base to be forced out in the 2nd inning, her first plate appearance. A triple that got things going in the 4th inning. A walk that brought the lead runner to the plate, and it was part of that messy 5th inning for South Australia, and now a single, RBI single in the 7th.
And you were talking before, James, about naming a player of the day. Be hard to go past this player here. Couple of great at-bats, being really dominant in the field at second, had some difficult plays.
Caught to 2 fantastic pitches.
So, and here she is again, just keeping the pressure on. So, SA now, 1 out, and then they're going to get 1 shot of 3 outs to try and take the game into a 7th.
Well, taking the game into the 7th is exactly what's happening over in Diamond 2, thanks to the Red Stars Cafe. And bar 66, Victoria leads 7-3 in the top of the 7th.
Would not have predicted that. That's a great comeback by Victoria.
Kurihara lifts
run.
one to centre field. Jorgensen gets under it, takes a catch. And luckily for South Australia, because Harari had crossed the plate, and it looked as though the speed-up runner, Leggett, for Sorbello was on her bike. There's the Eastern replay. So another couple of runs for Queensland. They scored 1 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, and 2 in the 6th to go 7-0 up. And they are 3 outs away from ending this game.
Yeah, coming over it today, expecting to see 1v2 in an important game. You don't know what you're going to get. Is it going to be resting players for tomorrow, or they're going to go at it? And early it looked like it was going to be going at it, but it's Queensland, obviously their class with their dominant pitching staff, good hitting lineup, and solid defence. They've asked the question, and they've put themselves in every position. SA, not to be disheartened, lots of positives to take away from their game, but Callahan now is going to lead off SA, needing at least 1 run to take it into a 7th.
Some pace on that pitch, wasn't it? Charlize hardly swung the bat, and look where it finished. Foul territory, but it was going. Yes, it's the first time I've seen Solomon.
Yes.
Callahan pops up, and Hampson comes in and takes the catch in the pitching circle.
And the pitchers, no, I'm not moving for anyone, not even my teammate.
Now, Solomon formed a great tandem with Zunka last year. Solomon was the rocket thrower, and Zunka could do it all.
Yeah.
She would just had them tied up in knots, but Solomon definitely had a yard. Just got on you quick, just front on, it's all arm, but just at that release point, just by the time it gets on you, it's just seems to get on you quicker than you think. Jorgensen now at the plate.
With 1 out, so SA down to their last 2 outs. to manufacture a run.
So that means tonight, you know, obviously the ACT game's going to be huge for SA. Well, for ACT, it's going to be massive. So SA can't just sort of, you know, try and roll up tonight and just sort of hope that they can get through, you know, unscathed.
Yep.
Traditionally, when you come to the ballpark in a championship like this, you don't tend to sort of just run with your bench players and just try and get through. You attack the game to get out of there as quickly as you can. So, bit of a dress rehearsal for tomorrow. So I reckon we'll see SA go pretty hard at ACT tonight. But if that Victorian score holds against that New South Wales win, that means that all of a sudden the ACT game tonight is huge. So 8 o'clock tonight. Jorgensen drives that ball up the middle.
Good shot.
Yeah, she's just been batting tremendously well. Part of the SA Stars Open women's team as well going forward. Playing as a specialist outfielder, doing some great stuff at Clubland. Here she just got that low ball from Zanko. Strong right hand, just went with it. Brings to the plate Georgia Ballard for her first at-bat of the day. And another batter gets rung up on the check.
Abby's also in the Stars team.
Yes, yeah,
which is terrific for her. She's a player, all right. Young player, big future. Can run.
Yeah, got wheels. Ballard swings aggressively on a breaking ball. Hard to come into a game when, granted, Solomon's only just come into it as well, but she's throwing missiles. Ballard's shortened up on the handle an awful lot. And some good catching there by Sorbello, trying to frame that outside corner. Jams her on the inside, up the handle. Solomon now ahead in the count. Jorgensen still stuck at first. It's difficult, one out, to risk anything in regards to running. You just really got to go on the bat now. And she goes up the middle. Oh, Kurihara just underneath the glove. Great effort to get over to it, but it's just gone underneath the glove.
Identical hit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
To Abby's.
Back-to-back hits, which is great to see. Some fight from South Australia. Another change being made from Coach Lucas, as we see the Eastern replay. Just tips the glove of Kurihara, and South Australia now runners at first and second as Queensland take the opportunity to have a little chat. So Roberts, who else do you go to but the RBI hitter? Yeah,
well, she's again had a really good season at Clubland for Walkerville, and added some new strings to her bow in regards to just I found like going through the counts a little bit deeper and being a power hitter. She sort of was fairly aggressive early, but she's done some great batting in the Premier League so far. So this is a good change by Lucas, Coach Lucas, in that regard. Neither of the shots, though, were massive. They were sort of controlled singles.
Yep.
But a hit's a hit. Roberts now, like Ballard before her, has to come into the game at the end when it matters.
They might try to pick off here.
And
on Abby Johnson.
She
She gets down the line a long way.
Roberts goes, Road and Morbello over the
foul. Is that a thing?
Yeah. Well, it's hard. Like the wind's just grabbed that and just throwing it basically away from us. So one out for SA, but Solomon ahead in the count. It's a tough gig coming in as a pinch hit in the sixth.
So strikeout now. Langharrow brought up a tactical point this time yesterday. If it's going to come down if it's going to go down to runs against, do you want to risk giving Queensland another inning to score more runs against you? you never go down without a fight, but
No, absolutely.
it's a very interesting tactic, isn't
especially at home.
Especially at this time of
With
the
the
tournament,
tournament, yeah.
knowing that New South Wales has given up 7 against Victoria.
Yep.
Well, they might not know that, but
Well, we were just talking before about whether or not SA go full strength and try and get ACT over and done with quickly tonight and get back to the accommodation for rest up, or do they sort of rest all their stars and let the bench players take the stage tonight? But I don't think the ACT are going to give them that chance, because they're going to come hard.
Neve Adams with 2 out fouls this one off.
Because the ACT need it. They can't afford to not win it, so.
Victoria aren't done yet. They've got 2 runners on in the top of the 7th with no outs.
It's interesting, before Lee, you were saying about Solomon not taking any interest in that fly ball or that other ball, and the ball just coming in. The ball just coming in, thrown into her. Kurihari actually went up and actually took the throw. It's not like, it's like if the ball's outside this little circle that I'm standing in, I'm not fielding it and I'm not getting it. The life of a pitcher, hey?
Well, you know that as well as anybody.
Eye for a ball.
We could ask that person.
We
this
can,
evening.
yeah. She'll tell us about it too. Don't worry about that.
Continues her work on Adams.
Adams has been super impressive today on that high pitch. She's been really disciplined and had a positive impact, especially in the field.
No, not there. As Queensland want that outside edge. It's a full count, so runners will be going with 2 out, 2 on, bottom of the 6th, and South Australia need a run to keep this going.
Strike out and it's over.
Single.
That's that
And
hit
it
the left
continues.
field.
Jorgensen's held up at 3.
Yeah.
And
I
the
think
left fielder, Hanari, runs the ball in.
That's a super smart call by Coach Lucas, because Canary was looking 150 feet and he knew that he had Scott sitting on deck. So Scott now gets a look at Solomon.
Maddie Scott, 4th plate appearance for the game. Strike is called as she's on the move. Loaded bases, so Queensland with 2 out can play any corner. Scott swing and a miss.
Good pitch, isn't it? Real good pitch.
Interesting to throw a rise early in the count, but it's not so much just about it being early in the count for Solomon, because their MO's been later in the count, but it was more at that swinging part of the count where she was forcing her hand. She had to either go at it.
Staying alive in the count, she kills off 1, but the count remains at 0-2.
And that's, as I said before, for Maddie here, especially with the extra pace, the left fielder should be near the line, because if she's going on the outside pitch,
yeah, well,
that's just my observation.
Yeah, well, the left fielder obviously hasn't watched the tape of Thursday night's game.
Swing and a miss.
And that's it.
A strikeout will do it, Anthony. And Queensland win 7-0. They come back from their defeat earlier today against New South Wales and will claim top spot. Only a blowout against WA will stop them from finishing top in this minor round, which means we'll see Queensland at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. But later tonight, 8 p.m, South Australia versus ACT. This game has ladder implications, because New South Wales will be playing at the same time. In the 7th inning at the moment, New South Wales are trailing Victoria 7-3. And, well, anything could happen. Player of the game, well, I think Kurihara was busy. The DP, Evans, was good, but for mine, Sorbello, the catcher, court to two magnificent pitches in Solomon and Summers, and she had some important at-bats for you.
Yeah, Kira Hari for me, I thought her game at second, just lots of great field work, swirling wind. She had lots of fly balls off of Summer early. Two hits and a walk.
That's Kurihara for me.
Set the tone early, right from the outset. So
a complete
catcher
player.
overlooked yet again. How am I not surprised? But Kurihara definitely a deserved player of the game, and Queensland deserved winners in this match, defeating South Australia, who was top going into that game. So very impressive and emphatic win from the Queenslanders. We'll see you in a couple of hours. The 8 o'clock game is between SA and the ACT. For Lee Hull and Anthony Weatherstone.